3 attacks, 3 crime scenes, and somehow the killer kept disappearing into the dark. A lonely lover's lane, a survivor left bleeding beside a car, a man in a black executioner's hood standing near the edge of a lake. By the end of our last episode, Northern California was terrified. But that was only the beginning. Because the Zodiac didn't just want victims anymore. He wanted an audience, letters to newspapers, cryptic ciphers, phone calls to police, and the question that still hasn't been answered for over 50 years. Who was the Zodiac? And yeah, I'm going here.
If your power goes out, remain.
Welcome to the graveyard.
Everyone in the theater went, oh!
No, I don't smoke cigs.
You can't just sit down and watch it.
Take personal security precautions to avoid becoming a victim of an attack.
This is the Supernaturals podcast on the SPN network.
Welcome back to another episode, part 2, actually. If you remembered last week, we discussed a little bit of the Zodiac part 1, which was great.
That we did.
I'm still convinced that he's doing it all because someone broke his heart, but
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the last episode of the Supernaturals podcast,
stop now.
Yes.
Go listen or watch it.
Yes, because it is the first part of this story about the Zodiac. We're diving deep into this one, and so much so that it deserved 2 parts. So, yeah. Anyway.
I'm excited for a little bit more detail.
Yeah. Really quickly, though, before we get into the story, I do want to say what's kind of interesting is that, like, we're talking about the Zodiac, but you know that, like, multiple villains in both horror and drama are, like, modeled after him, like the Zodiac killer.
Like, just in general?
Yeah, like, he's very big in pop culture. We said in the last episode that the Riddler and the Batman is basically the Zodiac in Gotham, which is why we have Batman right next to us. Do you know the movie Seven?
I do.
Seen that one?
Yep.
You know, what's in the box? That guy was also that guy was also modeled after him. But do you remember the movie Prisoners?
Love that movie.
Yep.
Shout out to our guys.
Mm-hmm. Jake Gyllenhaal,
Yeah.
my favorite. Hell
I love
yeah.
Hugh Jackman, dude. I really do.
I love Jake G too.
I know you do.
Yeah. The whole
It's a good name right there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Jake
keep
G?
cutting you off. Just Jake in general.
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of them are okay. Others are a pain in my ass. Anyway. The whole story was based on the Zodiac and Prisoners. Granted, it wasn't just one person, you know, like in Prisoners, right?
Right.
Because
Yeah,
obviously that's a spoiler. But from the
Caution.
weird from the weird guy in the glasses to the one guy with the puzzles, it does have strange similarities. You know what else the similarities are in a few of these movies? Paul Dano. The guy who plays the Riddler, the guy who plays the dude in Prisoners. Why is he always playing a weird guy? Especially one that's modeled after the Zodiac.
Typecasted well, I guess.
No, we do love Paul Dano. Tarantino is wrong. But that's just gotta suck, like having the look of a Zodiac killer. Like the dude is fantastic in both Prisoners and the Batman.
I'll tell you what, he's not hurting for a job.
No, but I'm just saying, like, do you think it hurts him a little bit to just be like, damn, why am I being casted in all these weird looking roles?
Either that or he's like so thrilled. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
just kind of embraces it a little bit.
I mean, you have to at that point, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, I have this look. People are looking for it, and I'm going to get paid being weird.
It's like the guy that played the mega weird alien at the end of Romulus.
Yeah.
Right now he's typecasted for some crazy stuff because he looks and feels the part.
Yeah.
So sometimes I feel like you just have to embrace it, accept it, and be like, this is my acting journey.
Just got to take it, Yeah, and at least you're getting paid for it. But
true.
Anyway.
Way more than me.
We do love Paul Dano. So keep doing those weird movie roles because you are fantastic in them. So yeah, let's dive into the story here. We're going to do a quick little thing, follow up, just a recap. Thank you. Good Lord.
Recount it.
We're going to recap episode 1 of the Zodiac thing for everybody because it's been a week. So let's dive in. Last time our story began in the San Francisco area in the winter of 1968. A young couple headed to a lookout point for a date one evening. While they were there, a man approached the car and shot both of them to death. Then it wasn't until July of the following year when a similar situation occurred in another Lover's Lane area nearby the first attack. This time, however, one of the victims survived and told the haunting tale.
Good job, Michael.
But moments after the attack, a certain individual called the police headquarters and claimed to have murdered the 2 victims, while also claiming responsibility for the first attack. As the attacks were broadcasted all across the nation, the same individual wrote to multiple newspapers and told them that he was the guy they were looking for. He called himself the Zodiac, which gave him a name to this chilling mystery, and also gave them a cipher with numerous puzzles of symbols. The cipher was eventually cracked, and it decoded a message claiming the man just liked killing. It was super creepy. I'm telling you, if you haven't checked out part 1 of the story, please go listen to it because there's so much spooky goodness. Soul needs to sit down. I don't know what he's doing. Anyways, in late September, the Zodiac was seen in broad daylight. He stalked a number of people at a lake and then picked his targets. It was another young couple who had a picnic out on a little island, and he stared at them from behind a tree. When the 2 returned to their car, the man donned his costume, pulled out a knife, tied them up, and then stabbed them both. And one of them died later. The other one survived.
He did.
Good old Brian. One of the victims, gave a description of the man, fell into a coma, and died, unfortunately. But thanks to the description, we got our first police sketches of the Zodiac killer in his costume that he wore, which was an executioner's hood with a strange symbol around a white bib. The same man called the police later and claimed responsibility for the attack, and that was where we left our story. We discovered that the Zodiac liked to play with fire. He seemed very cocky and narcissistic as he kept getting close to police, thinking he would never be caught. So without further ado, let's dive back into part 2 of this thrilling true crime mystery. Everybody lock in. Thoughts, Jake, before we get in here?
Well, as I said before, I believe that this guy has a motive. Something's going on here. I still believe it's a little bit of a broken heart. Now, I say that because, as I explained last week, he's targeting couples.
Yeah.
Quite often.
Yes.
He might have stalked those 3 girls or whatever, but they left, nothing really happened. But all of the murders he's claimed and told police as well have been a guy and a girl.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidence? I don't know.
I think not.
I don't know. Now, I still, without hearing today's explanation and story, I still believe that there's potentially multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Jake thinks there's multiple Zodiac killers.
Yeah. Not as much as like a smiley face cult, but
I guess
more
we'll
than
find
one.
out.
More than one.
Guess we'll find out.
What do you guys think?
Well,
let us know.
We won't find out, but this is unfortunately still unsolved.
Yeah.
Chapter 5. We begin our story with the last confirmed attack by the Zodiac. Although the number of potential attacks is way more, this took place only 2 weeks later or after the Lake Berryessa attack that killed Cecilia Shepard. The date was October 11th, 1969, in downtown San Francisco. A young medical student named Paul Stein was driving a taxi cab on the side. Medical school is quite expensive, so Stein was just trying to make ends meet with the taxi gig.
Can I pause you for a second?
Yes.
What year did all of these murders happen? So 69 was Cecilia and Brian.
It's between 68 and 69.
Okay, so it's just a year gap.
Just a year.
Okay. I don't know why in my brain I was thinking 62, but
No, it's just a year.
okay.
It was around 9 p.m. and Stein noticed a man calling for a taxi, and he pulled over and waited as the man got in the back of the cab. The man told Paul he wished to be driven to Presidio Heights, which was a suburban neighborhood nearby. Paul drove the man to the intersection of Maple and Washington Street, but the man asked if Paul could take him another block. Paul agreed and began driving. Paul then arrived at Cherry and Washington Street and stopped the vehicle. That was when he was shot in the back of the head.
Okay, well, there goes my theory of couples.
Viewer discretion is advised, but here is an image of the crime scene. We're going to put it right up here by Batman.
Oh, yeah, let me pull that up so I can
And
see that
boom.
as well.
Yeah. Take a look at it. You can see his
So
hand.
he was hitchhiking and killed the guy.
Yeah. Do you
Seems
see?
similar-ish to... I really think it's the Manson stuff when they had their little like village they lived in.
Spawn Ranch?
Yeah, didn't they go and pick up random people?
Dude, no, I don't know. I don't think it was the Manson. The Manson thing was the like 70s.
I guess that's true. But when did he go to jail?
Who?
Charles Manson.
Like the 80s?
Mm.
It was like the 70s.
I don't know. I'm still feeling a connection to some cult like stuff here though.
Okay. I will
I might
say
be
in my
mixing
research
up which one it was, but
I will say in my research, I've never found any kind. They've tried everything with this story. I've never seen anything that connects this with a cult. The guy did his own thing. And I think like when you're in a cult, you act a very specific way. And trying to take, I guess, like credit for things just doesn't really add up when it comes to a cult. Like
I can understand that.
unless the cults, unless they take credit for stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't remember anybody doing that. Are you looking it up?
I am looking at the picture currently.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not looking up the cult stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the
I don't
picture
know.
for
Yeah.
our audio listeners, it's basically just the taxi cab. It's all black and white, and you unfortunately can see Paul's hand outside of the taxi. 3 teenagers actually witnessed the shooting from inside a nearby house. The Zodiac's face was lit up clearly by the street lamp as the teens watched him search Paul, take his wallet, and then proceeded to wipe down the cab of any fingerprints, etc.
So he's cleaning up this time.
Mm-hmm. But
It's getting a little smarter here.
yes, but of course somebody saw him, right?
Mhm.
So the teenagers then called the San Francisco Police Department and told them what they were watching at that very moment. They described the man as husky and said he was wearing a dark blue or black jacket. Now here's what really pisses me off. This guy was not clever here. He should have been caught. But check this out. The dispatcher told officers to look for a black individual, meaning they mistook the teenager saying a black jacket as a man himself was African American. That's, first of all, unbelievable. Secondly, the Zodiac missed 2 very clear fingerprints on the car, but guess what? Nothing came from that either. Even crazier, police were driving to the area when they noticed a heavyset man dressed in black clothing walking away from the area. Police actually pulled off to the side of the road and asked the man if he had seen anything suspicious. The man replied and said he saw a guy waving a gun around a few blocks up. The police thanked him and just left. Guess what?
Right there in their fingertips.
Yep, the Zodiac later confirmed that he was the witness that talked to the police. Bro, this guy was not careful. How the fuck had he not gotten caught yet?
I don't know. He was literally steps away from the
Literally
authorities.
Yeah.
That is just insane. Talk about being so lucky.
I know.
And the courage and balls for this guy to just tell police probably without hesitation too.
Oh yeah. He probably was like charming as hell. He was like, oh yeah, there's some guy up there waving a gun around. It's crazy. You got to go get him. They drive up there, and then he was probably just sitting there like, huh, nobody's going to stop me, because he's
It's
like, I
that easy.
literally was here. They had me in their hands and nothing.
But then you said he confirmed it later. So,
Which it had to be him because nobody else was there, right?
right.
So it's like, how did they know that they talked to a guy? Well, he's like, by the way, I'm the guy. Crazy. So everybody's seeing this guy's face though, you know? So that's anyway. Yeah. So the teenagers that witnessed the crime got together with the two police officers who spoke to the man, and they both created a sketch of the guy, which, by the way, is the most famous police sketch in this entire case. This was the defining look of the Zodiac killer. Here it is. And we'll put it up. Jake, you looking at it?
I am.
Yep. That is the...
With all this facts, evidence, it's like, how did nobody see this guy just wandering around? You have to eat. You have to go to the store and get stuff.
Yeah. I
How
know.
can you lay that low?
Also, his hair is in the last one, the first guy, Michael, described the hair of the Zodiac as curly brown hair.
Right. But now it's this straight,
It's-
like slick back look
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like,
But that's been now two consistent sketches
yeah.
where
And
this
the
is
police did
looked-
one too.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is, like, if you look at the picture, we'll put it up again. The two pictures there's the original drawing, and then
Mhm.
there's the other drawing, which they both like had. I mean, the one's the police, one's the teenagers. I mean, that's the guy.
He doesn't look hefty though.
He-
In at
he
least
doesn't.
the sketch.
Yeah, he
Right?
doesn't.
He looks like he has kind of a slimmer face
Mm-hmm.
and would have like a normal, like I'd say like a 5'10", 5'11", kind of,
Build.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of stocky, kind of maybe a little dad body, but not, I wouldn't say like heavily overweight or
I
anything
know.
like that.
But
So
it's every one of the descriptions says he's either overweight, heavy, whatever.
I know.
So it's strange. Anyway, so obviously, while we know the Zodiac was responsible for the attack, police were still thinking it was a completely different person.
Oh.
Yeah. So when they scoped the crime scene, they believed Paul's murder was just due to a robbing. That was until the San Francisco Chronicle received a letter in the mail which featured a piece of Paul's shirt covered in blood. A letter inside also said that the Zodiac was responsible. It also said that he wanted to stalk a school bus and shoot the kids as they got off. Yeah, this is
Dark.
getting really dark.
Yeah. It's interesting that this guy is just toying with the cops.
Well, what I find interesting is like he had the articles and stuff came out, and they were like, okay, yeah, Taxi Man was robbed and killed. But police were like, this is different from how the guy usually acts. Like you had said, he's cleaning up after himself. He's taking
It's
stuff. He's
different.
robbed.
Yeah.
But when they put it in the newspaper, all of a sudden, the Zodiac is like, no, I did this. Like, I just want to throw that out there. Here's some proof if you need it. So it's like, why does he want people to know he did it so badly? That's what's so interesting about this case. It's like, he took so much, almost like pride in what he was doing, which is so freaky, man.
It is. And another thing on top of that is he's changing his behavior, which I find pretty odd.
Yeah.
He now cleans up. He's hitchhiking, different than anything he's done.
Mhm.
Maybe a way to get someone in pretty easily, but he's not in his get-up costume that was
Yeah.
described in the stalking stuff. So
Mhm.
that's a little odd.
Yeah.
He's back to showing his face and just being cold out in the open.
I think maybe he's just like I said at the beginning of the episode, I think he's just, his ego is getting so big. He's like, nobody's going to stop. They could see my face and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. And this is why you don't pick up random hitchhikers.
Yeah, hitchhikers, it's
Yeah.
a bad idea.
Like sometimes I'll see people, it looks like they need a ride, but you never know what they could do to you while you're driving.
Yeah.
Like it could stab you, shoot you, take your car. Like
Mhm.
it's quite scary what kind of behavior they could cause. But maybe they're a nice person that just really needs a ride to the next town. You never know. But
unfortunately, I'll never know because I'm not going to pick him up.
Yeah, me either.
And neither should you.
Yeah. Probably not the best idea.
Anyway, Jake, I got more names for you here. You ready? Because these guys are pretty big deals in this case. So 2 detectives were assigned to the case from the San Fran Police Department. Bill Armstrong and Dave Toshi. Dave ended up working the case by himself for some reason, and he really dove into investigating. In fact, Dave filled out 8 file cabinets with potential suspects. He read through each of the Zodiac's letters of correspondence multiple times and came to this conclusion. Toshi said, he's a weekend killer. Why can't he get away Monday through Thursday? Does his job keep him close to home? I would speculate he maybe has a menial job, is well thought of, and blends into a crowd. I think he's quite intelligent and better educated than someone who misspells words as frequently as he does in his letters. He also believed that the Zodiac was a resident of the San Francisco Bay Area, which makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that kind of sucks about Toshi is that there were eventually a bunch of anonymous letters sent into the San Francisco Chronicle commending Toshi for his efforts and work on the case. But it did eventually come out that he was actually the one who wrote and sent those letters about himself. So he ended up getting taken off the case after that.
You know, what's kind of interesting about the Zodiac is, you know, some serial killers, they will kill and kind of move from town to town, like the one guy that they said followed the Civil War reenactments
the
and stuff,
Springfield
right?
3 episode?
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, the smiley face killings that are potentially still happening, they're kind of spread out all over as well. Now, that may be multiple people, but regardless, it's not happening in one specific place.
Same with like the Night Stalker and John Wayne Gacy was pretty local.
Yes. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, because he was like a local politician there.
But it blows me away that this guy is getting away with it in the same area. He hasn't left.
Yeah, and everybody knows about him.
Right.
That's the thing is like, you know, John Wayne Gacy, you know, people had their suspicions, but it was never like confirmed. He also wasn't just, you know, stalking people and stuff. I mean, he was being weird about it.
Right.
But it's like it was always like a more low key. This guy is loud and proud about what he's doing. So everybody knows, okay, we got to be on the lookout. And something as simple as driving a taxi could get you killed.
I know. Well, and there's so many similarities here that, you know, we just watched Hellfest again.
Yeah.
And that guy is just a normal family guy with a daughter that goes and commits these crimes at Halloween events and parks and all this stuff and comes home and just is some normal guy.
Yeah.
Who's to say the Zodiac is just like working some 9-to-5 job and then on the weekends, this is what he does for his pleasure.
Yeah. He like rides the bus to work every day, you know, packs his own lunch. Maybe he's got a group of buddies at work, you know, like it's just some guy.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this is the same thing that we talk about in a lot of episodes, though. It's like you don't know what your neighbor's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had that one, I can't remember what episode it was. We had that one conversation about like when you do weird shit at home.
Oh, yeah.
Like when nobody's like, you know, you're like, and it's like, yeah, I mean, what kind of weird shit are other people doing at their house, like their home, you know, when nobody's around?
Well, obviously this guy's not doing any weird stuff at home, but
I mean,
that we don't know.
Yeah. This guy could, I think that if people live alone, you might do weirder shit. Cause then you kind of just like get lost in the loneliness and then you just do weird shit. I don't know.
What if the guy had like a whole family?
Yeah. I mean, that's true. You could be going the Hellfest route. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. Could be a thing.
But you would think that like these sketches, maybe someone related to him or potentially in a relationship with him would be like, this looks kind of like you.
Yeah, I feel like when you're in a relationship, this guy kind of gives me loner vibes because, like you had said, he probably went through a breakup or something.
Something wrecked him big time.
I don't think that if you have a girlfriend or somebody, like, look, here's the deal. I've had a girlfriend before where like we've, you get in those like cutesy moments where you're both like laying in bed or something and you're just like looking at each other. You learn to like, you recognize their face. You know, like every detail of their face. You know what I mean? Because you're just like, I love this person.
It's familiarity.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is
being with them constantly.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is if somebody was doing that with this guy, they would have known.
Yeah.
And that's the thing.
It makes it less likely for sure, but you never know.
Yeah. The fact that nobody was like, hey, I know this guy. It's like Jeff or something. It's like, no, this guy was a loner. He was. I mean, that's kind of the vibe I get. It's like, if nobody knows this dude, he's the kind of guy that blends into the background. He's like an extra in a movie. You just don't really pay attention to him.
Well, and another thing that I think about that's probably a little far-fetched, but it's maybe the retellings of the story and description way later from these victims could be skewed a little bit. Yeah, they definitely line up for mostly the same type of visual that the sketches came out to be. But we've heard one different version of the guy kind of looking with his hairstyle. Yeah. A little more heavy set. Now everything's been heavy set, but those sketches don't look like a overweight man. So maybe it gets a little skewed and it might not even look kind of close to him. So he's been getting away with it because people are on the lookout for that exact image, and that's not exactly what he looks like.
I mean, maybe, but then this police sketch, the cops that talked to him were talking to him like face to face. Guy was on the sidewalk. Like,
but you would think if they had these images and like thoughts that they'd be like, that guy looked oddly suspicious and familiar for some reason. You would think that would click in their head, but maybe not because he seems so normal.
Talking to you.
I don't know. It's just like when you see someone that looks familiar, you point it out, right?
Yeah, but like there's nothing really distinct about the guy. He does like
he looks like a normal dude.
He just looks like a guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. We go out to Denver and we see like all these different like Chads and stuff. And it's like, I couldn't tell you. I'm sure maybe I'm seeing the same guy everywhere. I don't know. They all look alike. They all have the freaking TikTok hair or a hat backwards or something like that. Like, there's nothing distinct about these guys. So maybe this was the fashion back then. Just some glasses and like a little greasy hair. Like, I don't know. I can't sit there and be like, oh, I'm looking for this guy and then see somebody who looks like everybody else and be like, oh, that's him.
It's true.
I don't know. I just think like police sketches are hard because it's like, okay, we have a face, we have the guy, but unless I see like the sketch and the guy like side by side, I'm probably not going to make that correlation. I'll be honest with you. My brain probably won't work like that. I see people every day and I barely look at them.
I don't know, when people that are familiar that I know or haven't seen in a long time.
Well,
yeah, but even when maybe I don't know them, sometimes people just look like you've met them before or have seen them before.
What I'm saying is like, how many of the Chads in Denver do you think that you've seen before?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really paying that close attention.
That's my point. That's my entire point is that you just don't really pay attention to it. So I don't know.
I feel like that's a little different in a town where there's a serial killing.
Let me ask you something.
Events happening.
No, let me ask you something. There was one night when you and I had to walk home or whatever. We had to get an Uber and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. And we saw there was a double homicide poster and it was a wanted poster. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy. Can you remember what that guy looked like?
Now? No. I mean, that was long time ago.
Could you? I wouldn't. I saw it and just saw homicide and I was like, we need to get out of here. I didn't even look at the guy.
I definitely took a look at him, but I can't remember what he looks like now.
I remember he had tattoos.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think he
bald.
had a shaved head.
Yeah. I think he was bald or something. That was it. That's all I got. I could name like that. We could go down to Denver right now and see like 70,000 dudes that are like that. So I'm just saying. Anyway, I think it is harder than you might think. Evidently it was.
Yeah. Obviously. Obviously.
Anyway.
Still is.
All right, chapter 6. November 8th. The Zodiac sent in another cipher encoded message to the Chronicle. He asked for them to publish the puzzle across the front page of the day's newspaper. This cipher was 340 characters long and was known as Z340. Believe it or not, this cipher wasn't cracked until 51 years later on December 5th of 2020. A team ran over 650,000 potential solutions for the cipher and eventually cracked it using a method that was designed by Belgian software engineer Jarl van Eyck. Here's what the cipher said in all its misspellings that were typical among Zodiac correspondence. I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. That wasn't me on TV show, which bring up a point about me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner because we now have enough slaves to work for me where everyone else has nothing when they reach paradise, so they are afraid of death. I am not afraid because I know that my new life will be easier and an easy one in paradise death.
This guy has no education.
Or it's just, he's just trying to throw him off just enough.
Maybe he's smarter than we realize.
Yeah, but that one was just solved 6 years ago.
That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying is like, it's insane, dude. Isn't it crazy?
51 years later though.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yep. Anyway, back to the past. On December 20th, the Zodiac mailed another piece of Paul's bloody shirt to Melvin Belly, a famous attorney in the area. This is what the letter was attached to the shirt. Here you go. This is a full letter. Dear Melvin, this is the Zodiac speaking. I wish you a happy Christmas. Also, Christmas is spelled with 2 S's, so it's like Christmas. The one thing I ask of you is this. Please help me. I cannot reach out for help because of this thing in me won't let me. I am finding it extremely difficult to hold it in check. I am afraid I will lose control again and take my 9th and possibly 10th victim. Please help me. I am drowning. At the moment, the children are safe from the bomb because it is so massive to dig in and the trigger mech requires much work to get it adjusted just right. But if I hold back too long from no 9, I will lose complete all control of myself and set the bomb up. Please help me. I cannot remain in control for much longer. I mean, it's chilling.
It is.
It's chilling.
It's
freaky.
It's
dude.
so odd because I'm wondering why he's sending all this cryptic stuff if he's like accepting that he can be caught and it doesn't matter. So
yeah,
why continue on if you don't care?
Also, he's
like you could just turn yourself in and accept your fate because it seems like he's already accepted that mentally.
But this portion of it shows a little bit of an interesting thing where it's like he's trying to say he's not in control of his actions. He's trying to basically say he's like
the devil has a hold of me, or
almost like Nikki
like
from
that.
Obsession.
Yeah.
He's trying to say he's like just not in control of what he's doing, and he's trying to call for help, which is a different side of the Zodiac that we haven't seen before. And he's sending these Paul's shirt to these people to show it's like, hey, it's proof.
Right.
Which is maybe that's why he went and killed Paul, because he's like, I need to show proof at this point
that I'm still me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And at this point, you do have people when a case gets this big,
mm-hmm.
You have people that are trying to reach out and they're trying to say, hey, by the way, I'm the Zodiac and you have to give me this much money and I'll turn myself in.
Right. Yeah. There's going to be copycats,
yes.
People doing all that stuff. Of
so
course.
Because of that, he's probably trying to say, like, here's the proof I'm actually him. You know, so it's interesting to think like maybe he killed Paul just to like show, hey, this is me. Also, another big thing, 9th and 10th victim. We don't know that. Like, we don't.
Yeah, it's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? He's saying he's killed more than what we actually like factually know as him. Which is an interesting thing. That's why at the beginning of this I said potentially more, because it
I
actually
feel like
gets
that
crazy.
happens quite often where, you know, I believe it was like Dahmer or something that in his like confession, he basically told the authorities where other bodies and other people were that he killed, and they went and later identified them and confirmed that, where they didn't even know that happened yet.
Yeah.
But because it was confessed, they found out and were able to give closure to other people. It's so mind-bending that all these guys just come clean and tell you all this stuff. And even the police had no idea.
Yeah. Well, he's also like, it's weirdly like he's trying to build a web of communications because like, why is he getting this attorney involved for some reason? You know, like, why is he reaching out to him? Like, a lot of it doesn't make sense. I kind of feel like, and this is what I think that they were doing in the Batman Part 2. I don't know why I keep saying Part 2. It's because I really want it to come out. That's why. And there's all this news coming out now, and I'm just like super excited. Apparently, he's going to get a new suit. It's going to be in the snow. I'm excited. Anyway, this is what I'm saying in the Batman. You see the Riddler. He kind of gives off like I don't want to be like offensive here, but like he seems like kind of special. He seems like he might be on the spectrum. And I'm thinking that maybe that's what they think. Like same thing with prisoners,
Like high functioning autism or something.
yeah, but like same thing with prisoners. The guy he was special ed, but he was taken advantage of, I believe. But there's like, I think that maybe people believe that the Zodiac could be on the spectrum because he can't, like, he's not spelling correctly.
Sure,
he
but
kind of seems
that
like he's
doesn't mean
rambling.
you're not smart.
No, but that's my point. That's what I was going to say is like, people who are on the spectrum are brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
They are. Their brain
they think differently. They're wired different.
That's my exact point. Like they're freaking geniuses. Like they think of stuff that I couldn't even believe. Albert Einstein was on the spectrum famously. So I think that just saying that the Zodiac could potentially be on the spectrum, I think is a pretty solid like
claim. Yeah, I would agree.
And yeah, that would kind of explain the way that he's able to create these ciphers, these puzzles, but also explain why they're all rambling and why there's all this just like,
well, and misspellings. Like sometimes like even the smartest people can misspell things, you know?
Yeah.
English words are very difficult.
Yeah.
And even I misspell stuff.
Oh yeah, me too, all the time. And I'm like a writer.
That's why we have dictionaries and spell check.
Yeah, they didn't have spell check.
Yeah, I know. There are dictionaries though.
Yeah. All right. Chapter 7. Then came 1970. The Zodiac had pretty consistent correspondence with law enforcement throughout the year. There was one man, though, who challenged the Zodiac to come out and give his full identity in the coded message since he loved them so much. And actually, the Zodiac did just that. On April 20th, he sent in a short letter that read, "My name is," and was followed by a 13th symbol cipher. Everyone jumped on it and discovered a name. Alfred E. Newman. Everyone freaked out, attempting to find Alfred. However, it didn't take long to discover that Alfred E. Newman was the name of the mascot for Mad Magazine, a humor magazine back in the day.
So once again, just toying with them.
Just toying with them.
Like, here, figure this out. It's not even anything related.
Yeah, I know.
And then he's probably sitting there watching the news, just sipping coffee, going,
just like, the Zodiac is Alfred E. Newman. And he's just like, bro, you guys, what the hell? Crazy, man.
It's creepy to think about.
Oh, it totally is. Fast forwarding to the future, researchers used that key to unlock use the key that they unlocked Z340's coded message, the one that was in 2020, and actually attempted to use it on the cipher of the Zodiac's name. So the one that came out was Alfred E. Newman, and they actually got a different message, an entirely different message.
From the same thing?
From the same thing. They just used the code that they were able to unlock the other. So this is what they're working on right now, is using that cipher.
So they're using a previous one to do a different like key, basically?
No. So the thing that they did to unlock the cipher in 2020.
Yes.
No, the one with the crazy weird thing about, hey, I'm, you know.
That just got, solved.
So that one, what they're doing right now, teams are still working on this because there were so many like letters and stuff. They're using that cipher code, like the puzzle thing, and they're like the key, and they're going back into some of the
Yes,
stuff and using that.
And they're getting different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is insane. They're getting different. Like,
But what if it's so unrelated?
well, this one is.
Can I say something before you say this, this key or whatever?
Yeah.
My thought, you know how, so maybe the Alfred name was the correct potential key to unlock it, but what if his name and the way he used the like big name, you know how Lord Voldemort changed his name from Tom Riddle to Lord Voldemort using all the same letters?
Yeah.
What if it, I can't remember what that's called when you like swap them like that.
Yeah.
What if he did that and his name is actually in there? It's just all jumbled.
Could be, man. Could be.
Like, you never know.
You never know.
I can't remember what it's called when that. It's not an anagram, is it?
I have no idea. I don't know.
It's
couldn't
something
tell you,
along
but
those
I know
lines.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
But that would be quite interesting.
That would be interesting. So the message, the Alfred E. Newman one that was, you know, they took that. Now we're flash forwarding to nowadays, and they used this cipher key on the one message to try to see if there was anything different on the Alfred E. Newman one. There sure was. It read, "Doctor, eat a torpedo," which is now believed to be an insult to the man who called for the Zodiac to send the puzzle with his identity.
That's an interesting correlation.
Yeah. So pretty wild, but I mean, there it is. In the letter sent to the Chronicle on April 28th, the Zodiac said, "I hope you enjoy yourselves when I have my blast." Blast was in full caps. On the back, he said he was going to use his bus bomb if two things didn't happen. One being that the Chronicle needed to write about his bomb, and the second being that he wanted everyone in the Bay Area to wear Zodiac buttons on their shirts. While the Chronicle did as they were told, nobody wore Zodiac pins or buttons, which upset the man. On June 26th, he sent a letter and a map. Here are the two side by side. The note says, "This is the Zodiac speaking. I have become very upset with the people of the San Fran Bay Area. They have not complied with my wishes for them to wear some nice," and then he does the little thing with the, you know, the circle and the cross.
His symbol.
Yep. Buttons. "I promised to punish them if they did not comply by annihilating a full school bus. But now Sesh is out for the, but now school is out for the summer, so I punished them in another way. I shot a man sitting in a parked car with a .38. Then he had the logo said a dash and then 12, and then San Francisco Police Department 0. So he's basically saying he has a score of 12. San Francisco Police Department has a score of 0, which means
he's winning.
It also means that he probably is now at 12 victims.
Yeah.
Then he says, "The map coupled with this code will tell you where the bomb is set. You have until next fall to dig it up." And then it's followed by another thing.
Interesting. Kind of going back to my point. I just looked it up. It is called an anagram. It's where you can jumble letters and spell other things.
Yeah.
I think this guy is pretty smart, obviously.
Yeah.
I really do believe that name could have anagrammed, and he's just like, let's just make something that could seem pretty obvious with potentially his name, and it kind of just worked out in his favor.
Yeah.
I think that could be a pretty interesting perspective.
Uh-huh.
But confirmed, anagram is the correct term.
Anagram is the correct.
Yeah.
So basically he actually the guy that he talked about, the man in the car that he said he shot.
Yeah.
The man the Zodiac is referring to is actually unknown. Granted, some authorities believed that it was San Francisco Police Department Sergeant Richard Radich. Richard was carrying out a routine traffic stop when he was shot in the head, and he was in his squad car by an unknown assailant. Although detectives claim that this isn't the work of the Zodiac. Maybe there is something that I didn't see because it sure sounds like the Zodiac did it. Anyway, the map was supposed to lead authorities to this bomb, that the Zodiac had buried. But with such a short cipher and a 32 symbol puzzle to solve, the answer to this puzzle has never been solved. Granted, there was no explosion, luckily, but it is crazy to think that there could potentially still be a bomb somewhere in the Mount Diablo area in San Francisco.
So he's just sending him on wild goose chases.
Pretty
This
much.
Seems like he's just
But he's been-
literally having fun playing this game.
He's been talking about this bomb for a while now.
And it's still unsolved, so.
Yeah. So if you,
Wow.
yeah. So anyway, there's that. The Zodiac sent another letter out complaining again that nobody was wearing buttons. He said that he has a little list of victims he keeps for himself. He also said that he drove around a woman and her baby for multiple hours. He gave a description of the woman and it matched that of Kathleen Johns, who was abducted 4 months earlier. This led investigators to become frustrated, as if they weren't already. But it showed that the Zodiac had more victims that he was leading on, and that made this thing even deeper than it already was. On October 7th, my birthday, hell yeah, the Chronicle received another postcard that featured 13 hole punches in it. It is nicknamed the 13 hole punch card. It is believed that each hole punch is symbolic to each victim, which means he gained another. And then later, on October 27th, Paul Avery of the Chronicle received a Halloween card. And this felt like it was literally used in the Batman movie. I mean, come on, let's take a look at the card. It literally says, Jake, literally take the card. No, I'm actually serious. Take the card out of Batman's hand and open it. It says, to the Batman.
Sure does.
Okay, open it up. This was used in the movie. So read it to us, Jake.
From your secret friend.
Yep.
Whoa.
It says from your secret friend. And then it's like, who having a clue.
Oh, I thought that was an A. It says who.
Yeah.
Because it's an owl.
Uh-huh.
What does a liar do when he's dead?
And then there's a cipher. And then basically they find out in the movie that it means he lies still. Because it's like a thing.
Having a clue? Let's play a game. Just me and you.
Yeah. So
And
there's
then
that, right?
Crazy code. You can't see it, but it's crazy symbols.
So it says to my secret friend, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the card that was
mad
sent.
detail.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. That's why those things are so expensive. Here is the card that was the Zodiac sent on Halloween or before Halloween. Mind you, the Batman takes place around Halloween, on Halloween when he gets that card. This one says, from your secret pal, I feel it in my bones. You ache, you know my name, and so I'll clue you in. It literally, from your secret friend, from your secret pal. I mean, come on, dude.
Come on.
There's a reason why Batman is sitting up on the damn thing. Anyway, yeah, and then there's some weird ass stuff that says, I mean, look at that. Slaves is like one of the big things.
Oh, yeah. Is that in the...
Yeah, it's in there. But
Oh, yeah.
it says buy gun, buy rope, buy fire, buy knife. And then it says slaves. And then it says
By
Paradise.
fire and by rope. We have not heard.
yeah, but do you see that though? It says paradise and then slaves.
Right. And that's the terms he's used many times.
Yeah. Dude,
Wild.
I know. Yeah, by rope and by fire are things that we haven't seen yet. So, yeah, there was also a handwritten note attached to the card. First, the card had randomly featured the number 4 and the word teen together, which led people to believe that the Zodiac had a 14th victim now. The handwritten card sent to Avery, or the detectives, said, peek and boo, you are doomed. Avery refused a police escort and protection and started carrying a pistol. I'm sorry, Avery is the one of the Chronicles, one of the writers at the Chronicle. Avery refused a police escort and protection and started carrying a pistol with him at all times. It seemed as though he was being targeted and everybody knew it. In fact, his colleagues at the Chronicle started wearing "I'm not Avery" pins on their clothes just so the Zodiac wouldn't attack them. That's fucked.
Yeah, you're literally pointing out that you're not this person. And if I was Avery, I would wear one of those pins too.
Yeah, right.
We are all not Avery.
Dude, I know. Isn't that insane?
That is
yeah,
that is really messed up, though.
I forgot to mention that Avery, I think that's the one that Mark Ruffalo plays in the movie. I'm not 100% sure, though, but yeah, he's got a pretty big role because he gets involved. The Zodiac starts writing to him, which is pretty wild. So
it's like Karen Page to some of the crazy people in her life.
Yeah. All right, Chapter 8. In March of 1971, the Zodiac sent a letter to the Los Angeles Times, which is crazy because now he's moving out. The letter had a terrible joke inside, but it also claimed that he now had 17 victims. After that letter, the Zodiac went quiet. I'm not kidding. There was nothing. No word from him at all. No more boasting, no more games. It was all just over.
It was silence.
Yep. That is until January of 1974, when the Chronicle received another letter. This time rambling about certain things, including how The Exorcist was the best satirical comedy he's ever seen. He then ended the letter with this: me, 37. San Francisco Police Department, 0. After that,
37.
Silence. There were a few letters or postcards that were sent to the Chronicle, but they were deemed inauthentic for various reasons. Some psychologists believe that the Zodiac had a multiple personality disorder and that caused him to give up killing. But others believe that he got bored with messing with authorities. So, yes, to answer the big question in this whole case, he has never been identified. He came close multiple times, but it is just astounding that somebody who was so careless and cocky was able to keep this game of his going for so long and have it succeed.
Yeah, he's very lucky. You know, you hear about all the other serial killers that were not so lucky and how they got caught and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He could have been down that same path, but evaded it. And who's to say, you know, other serial killers, maybe if they had been that lucky, maybe they wouldn't have been caught either. You just don't know. But it was weird though, because he's so cryptic and very in tune with the local authorities.
Yeah.
So it just makes it more bizarre because of how he was able to get away with all of this stuff.
While being so uncareful.
Yeah.
I know. So the Zodiac has been linked to a number of other potential murder cases, even other unsolved serial murders that occurred in the same area. However, he has never officially been connected with him. The case itself was deemed inactive in 2004, but was reopened in 2007 and is still open to this day. In 2009, data was gathered about this case. Here are the facts. Over 2,500 people were classified as suspects by the San Francisco Police Department. However, only half of them were deemed credible by the department, which seems irresponsible to me. Also, the man who runs the Zodiac Ciphers website, Richard Grinnell, said that he believes there is an extra 50 to 100 men thrown onto that list every year that it goes by, or every year that goes by. So just more suspects are being added every year. In 2020, the Chronicle actually had said that the Zodiac case is the most famous unsolved case in American history, and it sure does feel that way.
Do they not have any detective or authority working on this all the time? You know,
now, no. There's
I'd be so invested
small
in it.
organization, like I said,
so
that's
invested
trying
in
to, come on, soul, do something, bro. Dude, go. Good Lord.
I'd be wanting to work on this all the time to try and figure it out. It'd be so interesting.
There's a group of people. That's why there was, some of the ciphers have been solved, lately. But I do have to bring up one thing. So before we go, I have to mention a name. Okay. His name was Arthur Lee Allen. And I'm sure those of you who have listened to this Zodiac thing so far have probably been wondering when I'm going to bring him up. Here we go.
What was the name again?
Arthur Lee Allen. Allen was a former elementary school teacher who was also a convicted sex offender. I know. Gross. He was interviewed as a suspect back in the early days of the case. And for 20 years, he was subjected to multiple arrests, search warrants of his home, and other investigative proceedings. However, nothing came from it. There just simply wasn't enough evidence to link him to the Zodiac. yet multiple investigators believed that he was the man that they were looking for. Arthur Lee Allen died in 1992. If he was in fact the Zodiac killer, then unfortunately he brought the answer with him in death. The Zodiac has not only polarized researchers and investigators, but it also helped us learn how to counter someone like this if it were to ever happen again. Police departments, federal agencies, etc. have all learned from the Zodiac case to train their officers and agents alike in stopping someone like this. The Zodiac also went on to be a major piece of pop culture, as we said earlier, but anyway, that is the story of the Zodiac. He is either dead or still out there. A number of his coded puzzles are still trying to be solved to this day. Who knows if we'll ever know the answer to who this man was, but one thing is for certain. This case is the most haunting in American history.
One real quick thought about Arthur. You would think that if this guy was to die, maybe he died unexpectedly, maybe, but if he was to die, with how arrogant this guy is, I would have feel like he would have told.
Yeah.
I would have. Or at least I think it. And
or you think he'd write it down somewhere.
Exactly.
Like earlier in one of the things he had said, like he has a list of all his victims. Like, where's the list? And then also, like, I mean, if you think about it, if he loves puzzles and stuff so much, there could be puzzles in like the house somewhere or something.
Some clue would have been left for someone to solve.
Yeah,
100%. So if it was him, you would think that would be the case.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not completely sold on this guy. Plus, multiple arrests for sex offending and stuff like that. He never once, at least from what we know, did anything sexual with his victims.
True.
So that leads me to believe that it's probably not the same guy. So
I will say, I do believe, I mean, we can watch the movie because I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do believe that they actually make it seem like this guy is the one who. So.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway,
Crazy
there it is.
Scapegoat for the Zodiac, I suppose.
I guess, right? Yeah, if it's not him.
Wild
but
story,
we will
guys. Wild story.
we'll probably never know the answer to this, which is like crazy.
Someone might figure it out. Maybe.
Well, all we have is what he gives us. And if he's giving us these like puzzles and stuff, I mean, I don't know. I think that's
why I think the anagram is a puzzle inside the puzzle itself.
Yeah, you could be right. But I will say, I'm sure somebody's tried to do that.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, they've tried everything. You know what I mean? So
I didn't hear anything about it.
Well,
People trying to unscramble the name. They probably got so focused on this name that they overlooked the simplest thing.
Yeah, but then it turned into a joke, and it was like.
But then they probably discarded that at all because it was like, oh wow, this is just some magazine name. Like it's probably so irrelevant.
Well, maybe. You know, maybe that's the case. So
I don't know.
Detective Jake's on the case. Anyway, guys, that is the story of the Zodiac. Thank you for listening to our 2-part episode.
Yeah. Thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah, if you like more 2-part episodes, let us know. I can definitely do more. It's just these cases, a lot of them have so much information that it's really hard to fit it into one episode. So we do want to split it if it deserves it. But a lot of times they can just fit into like an hour or less. So
very true.
Anyway, yeah.
With that being said, thanks again for tuning in to another episode of the Supernaturals. We are your hosts, Jake and Cal. Stay safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Don't pick up any hitchhikers. And we'll see you around the graveyard.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Supernaturals. Be sure to like and subscribe on your favorite podcast platforms. See you around the graveyard.